Hi there, my name is FixFox, and welcome back to Factorio. Something beautiful has happened. We've gotten ourselves a new bit of science. Every single time in this game that you get a new technological marvel or a new level of technology that you've achieved, the whole game changes. You get to implement these new opportunities into your factory. Some of them, if you've played the game many a time, you've been waiting on these, and now finally you can move ahead with some plans that you've set in motion quite some time ago. But I'm very happy that we finally got this white science falling from the heavens down into my science labs. And that is going to be an opportunity for us to say, let's not rush into space, folks. Let's focus a little bit on our infrastructure. That is always a fun time. So at this point, I've noticed, well, we've got a little bit of a blockade with our light oil. We're going to increase the cracking ability there. We're also going to make sure that we get ourselves 5 additional oil refineries just to make sure that our oil processing is fine for the foreseeable future. We are going to throw FixFox Orbital Command into the skies. This is going to be our second space platform, and over the course of this video, which takes place over about an hour and a half or so, we're just going to slowly send materials up there so that way we can build a quality spaceship that's going to get ourselves into a new planet. Now, I want to point this out. While we're doing this infrastructure, I think that we're officially to the point where I don't need to worry so much about biters. And I've said many a time, well, I'm not trying to build the most beautiful or functional factory. I'm just trying to make something that'll like just get the job done. I'm just going to Mickey Mouse a couple of my solutions. And I think that the time for that has actually passed. At this point, I think that anything worth doing is worth doing right. Now, we're going to see that a couple of bad habits are going to creep in. Like the spaceship that we're going to build is not the best spaceship you ever saw, for example. But more and more, we're going to try to say, look, if I'm going to do this, I want to make sure that whatever solution I implement in my factory is going to be perfect for the foreseeable future with no problems. That's going to be the goal. Well, this is us getting some robust oil processing up. We're going to increase the oil processing for a long, long time, but we have a problem. The problem is just simply that we've run out of nuclear. I do officially have the blue requester chests. That's typically the easiest way to make sure that things get around your base when they're just like small little opportunities. For example, moving one glowing green rock from your northern tip of the base to the southern tip of the base. Yeah, bots can handle that better than just about anybody else can. I don't want to send one huge belt from north to south, or even a train. I know that in a mega base that might make sense to make something that is really, really redundant in that sort of a way and never going to fail you. Bots are very, very reliable. I'm just not going to worry about it. Okay, do note that we do have our power armor here. We're going to get our thrusters, and then we're also going to get the tech research to go to Vulcanus. And yes, Vulcanus is going to be the next planet that we go to. Why Vulcanus? Well, on a space age run with Deathworld biters, yeah, we definitely want to make sure that we're going to have the artillery to deal with those enemies. I did find out just a little bit ago, I'm very, very sad, folks. I found out that there's actually an achievement that I wish we'd gone from this playthrough, and that's the achievement where you don't get your hands dirty and you only kill biters. You do not kill a biter base until you kill it with artillery. You don't hand kill any other base. Oh, I'm so distraught. I didn't even realize it was in the game, and now it's a failure. No, really what that is that is an opportunity for next time, and we will do that next time. By the way, we're getting rid of the last vestiges of our original copper smelting. It's really sad. I mean, the iron ore patch that we started off with is now long since gone, but now we've gotten rid of the copper patch and smelting. What that does, though, is that opens up a nice opportunity for me to put some new things into my base. And I say, look, I'm still amazed, absolutely flummoxed. How in the world did I get copper smelting into electric smelters before I got iron smelting? So it's time for us to throw down this iron smelting. Now, there's a couple of reasons why it doesn't hurt my feelings ever to stay on burner tech when it comes to smelting. It works pretty well. Like stone furnaces, steel furnaces, it works pretty okay. But there's two main advantages to going into these electric furnaces. Number one, you're not going to use coal, which can eventually run out, and you'll have to go out and get other patches out in the big wide world. And the coal is necessary for some things, grenades, for the military science, and for plastic. Yeah, you don't want to needlessly get rid of your coal if you don't have to. And then number two, you can get modules. Now, typically the coal argument is not that big of a deal for me. It's really not. So once I'm able to get modules and I can actually put some good quality modules, well, not quality modules, excuse me, production modules into the electric smelters, that's when I say to myself, you know what, it's probably worth it. It's probably time to get rid of this old sooty sort of build and go to something a little bit more clean. Now, didn't we just have a brownout a second ago where our power wasn't quite where it needed to be? Yes. Is that going to stop me? No. Nope, this is the wave of the future, and we're just going to have to struggle with some growing pains until we actually get things sorted out. So I do note here that my steel smelting is clearly insufficient. I mean, one single red belt is not going to do it at this point. I'm going to curtail some of my space scaffolding building. I just don't need 3 of these assemblers going at any given time. Again, we're still getting some materials into space as necessary. We're not going to build the spaceship in this playthrough, and I will tell you right now, oh folks, this is actually a huge regret of mine. For some reason, I don't know why, but for some reason the file got corrupted for when I actually make the FixFox orbital command. You're just gonna have to trust that I did the very, very best I could to make a functional spaceship that didn't completely suck. We can talk about it later. Next time I get a wild hair, I'll re-record some portion of it so that way we can take a look at my spaceship building process. I don't know how interesting that's going to be to some people, but I think it's fairly interesting, at least for the totality. Just make sure that this is a fully comprehensive run. It's probably worth it just to look at the spaceship and my general principles for the building and the designing. But I am very happy that we went over that a little bit more when we got our science vessel up and running a little while ago. Anyway, well, I have gotten rid of the original steel smelting. Well, it wasn't even the original steel smelting. That was the secondary. That was the second time that I tried to do some steel smelting. This is going to be now the third, and with one full red belt in these production modules, it's actually going to be pretty effective. I think that we're going to have a couple of issues making sure that we have enough of the iron plates coming on. We're going to need at least one more big stack of smelters. And it's funny because all of this is going to be kind of superfluous, really, when we do come back from Volcanus and we get ourselves into some foundries. Of course, foundries are a really awesome way that you can make some new products. It's the upgrade in the progression of smelting. You go from stone furnaces to steel furnaces to electric furnaces into the foundries, and we will be doing that. Actually, again, because we're going to Volcanus fairly quickly, we're going to do that. Just you watch, just you wait. Killing some biters here, just having fun, you know. Still getting more and more difficult to deal with these biters as time goes on, but I digress. Here's a quick look at our stats, by the way. This one right here, yeah, we're just trying to figure out where our seal processing was. We've more or less stayed about where we were before. Maybe in the future I'm going to need to throw down a third or fourth one of those smelting stacks, or again we'll wait for the foundry. And then I do want this power armor, this MK2 power armor. I am hoping that in this assembler it's going to pop out with its like 8% chance or whatever it is. I'm going to hope that we get a rare or uncommon sort of power armor. It's not likely, but it could happen. And so if it could happen, let's just not make ourselves sad and let's just do our best to make sure it does happen. If it doesn't, oh well, so be it. But once we get that, all of a sudden we're going to have a big, massive upgrade. Again, we were talking about the different stages of technology. It's going to be a big upgrade for our tech when the time comes. One thing I'm doing here, I'm trying to make sure that my cargo landing pad is ready for future builds. As multiple rockets are moving up into space and as spaceships are flying around and dropping the contents of their very successful runs to the planet, it's going to be important that this cargo landing pad is correct. We are going to end up putting some of the additional cargo bays on this in a little while, but I'm very, very wanting to make sure that I have it to where the automatic requests happen, because the more you automate, the happier you are going to be. So let's automate as much as we can. Folks, one thing that's going to make me very, very happy is once I can get many more of the exoskeletons into this new MK2 power armor. But to make sure that we are adequately powering this, yeah, the solar panels are going to do something for us, but we specifically kept behind a couple of the nuclear pots. I forget what you call those. Yeah, those things. You need 4 of them to make sure that you always have just like a fusion reactor on your back. And we're going to use those to make sure that we can just say, plop there you go. Your power concerns in the early game are basically solved. I've seen people that try and use 2 of those modular kind of power solutions. I don't really think I need more than 1. I think that I can build many things on multiple planets with just 1 of those dedicated all the time, uptime sort of power solutions. We are getting some additional stone here. Our stone ran out quite some time ago. And I say to myself, oh yeah, this is never going to get attacked. This is kind of nestled into my wall section that goes to my corridor down to my nuclear. And there's the big iron smelting out there. I'm never going to need to defend this from biters. Later, we're going to see just how wrong I am. Not in this video, but in another video. So when we're talking about keeping things safe, from here on out, let's just make sure that we keep everything safe. Folks, we have finally completed the research for Volcanus. We can go anytime that we want to, but there's still quite a bit more to do to build that spaceship that's up there. We have sent up a lot of space scaffolding, so that way we can make a good quality platform, but now we got to add the bells and whistles. That's going to be the crushers. That's going to be the asteroid collectors. There's lots of stuff to add on up here, but that is going to be for another day, another time. I am saving off here so that way I can remember, oh yeah, FixFox, this is what you need to do when you come back. And so we shall do that very soon. In the meantime, folks, do me a huge favor. Look after you, your friends, and your family. Take very good care of yourselves. Because if you don't, who will? Remember, my name is FixFox. I'm loving Factorio, and I'm hoping I get to see you in the next one. Take very good care of yourself. Bye now.